And now, Manchurian Candidate.
Take it away.
2004, The Manchurian Candidate, rated R with a runtime of 2 hours, 9 minutes. This had a budget of $80 million.
$80 million.
Alex, what do you think this brought in?
Denzel Washington, $112 million.
All right. Tin Hat Man?
I have no idea. 140. Probably made $300 million or something. I don't know.
$96 million.
Oh.
Made a little bit.
Not enough to cover the merchandise.
The tin hats they were trying to sell?
Yeah.
You didn't introduce Matt.
Did I not? Yeah, I did.
Did you?
Yeah, the man behind the curtain, right?
Yeah.
It's a conspiracy.
Oh.
Did we or didn't we?
Mandela effect.
This tinfoil hat I'm going on. It's messing with me.
Yeah. All right, what's
I think
the
it's more
synopsis?
like the booze.
He's got pirate hooch today. He's going hard.
I got pirate hooch and a shot of bourbon.
I know. I had a Capri Sun in the fridge, and I was like, "Ooh, Vader!"
He's gonna have to take a nap before we go out tonight.
Strawberry. I was like strawberry kiwi,
That's a
and he was
dude.
like, "Give me that shit."
I downed an entire thing of electrolytes just so I could sip on this and not be completely freaking wasted. So, all right, Jude, take it away. What's the synopsis
All
for
right, sir.
this movie?
Ray Donovan has been brainwashed by his mom, Meryl Streep, to become the next vice president of America. Drawing the short brainwash straw, Denzel Washington was programmed the same weekend to murder the president, which will allow Meryl Streep's baby boy to slide into that cushy Oval Office. Raymond Shaw is just a sweet, honest boy who served his country, faced down enemies, rescued his unit from attack, and all of that is bullshit. Who needs an actual hero moment when you can just alter soldiers' brains to believe it? Instead of saving his men, Shaw was getting the cyborg treatment, actually murdering them by command, and then deleting the memory of it. Instead being given the memory of a heroic act that saved the lives of all but the 2 men in his unit that he was compelled to kill. Speaking of cyborgs, Captain Ben Marco has a confrontation with Bernard that makes him start questioning his memories of the time that Shaw saved him in Kuwait. As far as he can remember, Raymond Shaw is the kindest, bravest, warmest, most selfless human being he's ever known. And that's exactly how the other surviving members of the unit remember it. Exactly. Word for word. Discuss.
This is a goddamn documentary. This MK Ultra shit is real.
It's pretty weird.
And I would not doubt it one bit if someday in the future this shit came out. Like, oh yeah, we microchip some president that we will remain unnamed.
Hold on 1 second. So you're telling me that it's not fiction that globalist politicians and corporations conspired together to undo America's democracy and put someone in the White House that they can completely control.
Quick, give them your tinfoil hat so they can't get him.
Yep, that's what we're saying.
Demonetized.
Well, no, I said it's complete fiction, right?
It's just a movie, guys.
Could never happen. Could never happen in real life.
No, there's too many moving parts. There's no way they could pull that off.
Safest and most secure elections ever. Vader.
Most people voted ever.
Hi, I'm Grandpa Joe.
81 million votes.
Vader, let's do too specific.
Grandpa Joseph. Okay, whatever. Fucking asshole.
Corn pop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever.
And that was the Manchurian Candidate.
This shit's real, people.
real.
No, okay. So on a serious note, this movie, I think this movie was cool. I think this is my first watch. I had never seen it before, which I don't know why. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't think I've seen this before either.
I never got around to watching
I
it.
hadn't either.
Was this a remake of something?
Yes. So,
Wait a minute. Who programmed us to watch this?
So this was a remake of a Frank Sinatra movie based on a novel by the same name. And basically Frank Sinatra had the rights to this film. And when he died, the rights passed to his daughter, who then went to Scott Rudin at Paramount, who's one of Paramount's super producers. And she's like, hey, I got the rights to the Manchurian Candidate. You want to make a remake? And Scott Rudin was like, yes. And so they got this going. Jonathan Demme directed this movie. He was the guy who did The Silence of the Lambs. So he was coming off the success of that movie to do this one. And it has a stellar cast of actors in it, especially nowadays. days, because a lot of these people who were unknowns at the time have come to be quite famous in their own right.
I was completely blown away when I saw Master Chief as one of the soldiers. I was like, oh my God, I recognize that
Pablo
guy.
Schreiber.
Yeah, Pablo Schreiber was in this movie as like he's non-speaking role, like in the background. He's one of the soldiers that gets assassinated by the main by Denzel. I think was it Denzel who shot him in this movie? I think it was.
No, it was Raymond Shaw.
Yeah, so Liev Schreiber, who plays the Manchurian Candidate in this movie, was actually he's actually half brothers with Pablo Schreiber. So
yeah, it was cool to see him.
Killed his own brother for this movie.
Well, he's like, hey, I got to roll for you. It's non-speaking. You're in the background, and
Unfortunately, I have
I'm
to
going to
kill
shoot you
you.
in the face. He's like, yeah, okay.
Man, sounds great.
Sounds awesome. No, I really enjoyed this movie. I had a really cool kind of like a mystery to it. It was unraveling as you went. Denzel always sells it. I can watch that.
Anthony Mackie was in this movie.
Yeah, yeah, he was another one of the soldiers.
There's a lot of people in this movie.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Falcon and Master Chief were both in this movie.
John Voight, he's in this movie.
John Voight is not a bad guy.
No.
One of the
And,
few movies
Go
that he
figure.
wasn't a
That
bad
guy
guy.
from Quantum Leap that has Ziggy?
He was a bad guy.
Dean Stockwell.
Dean Stockwell, that's his name.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, just freaking John Voight. And he was,
And
At least, you know-
Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs.
At least we're still
I'd fuck
consistent
me.
that all politicians are pieces of shit.
this is true.
That's
Well,
what I like about
you know
this.
what was funny is, so like in the original Frank Sinatra novel or movie, and in the original novel, you know, it's the Manchurian Candidate, and it's the Soviets and the Chinese who do the experiments. And for the remake, this movie, this was around the time, like, you know, like we were like being buddy with Russia and stuff like that, where Clinton was handing over all of our secrets to the Chinese, and we didn't want to insult them, and so they created the Manchurian Corporation. And so the bad guys in this movie are
Global
white guys.
corporation.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and not the Chinese or the Russians.
They sold us out, threw us under the bus. What was I going to say? God, I had a comment, but I
You
forgot.
ever
what
feel
it
like
was.
we're just like living in the real world?
I do. That's why I said this is a
It's just-
freaking documentary, dude. Like,
so
I
goofy.
honestly, if this shit came out today in the news, and I was like, oh yeah, okay.
I don't even know if they'd release
makes
this movie
sense.
out there nowadays.
The funniest part was, so like Al Franken plays like the generic newscaster who's just going around interviewing all the politicians. And it's so obvious that that Meryl Streep is basically like Nancy Pelosi or Hillary Clinton. or
Yeah, I
someone
got
like that.
strong Hillary Clinton vibes
Absolutely.
from her. Speaking of which, when I was watching this movie, I don't think they ever outright said it, but which party do you think is the one that has the Manchurian Candidate?
The Democrats.
Oh, for sure.
You think it's both? Okay.
Well, they specifically said California and New York were their strongholds and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah, and they're like, we're weak in the Midwest, and they were trying to get that one senator to like help them out or whatever, and they're like, we're not weak in the Midwest. Like, yeah, you are.
So what's his name? The old guy who always
John
plays
Voight?
that. John Voight.
The old guy. Oh, you know that hot chick's dad.
So John Voight, he plays a Republican senator
Right.
in this movie, and he's eventually murdered by Nancy Pelosi via the Manchurian Candidate.
These days, man, this movie could be seen as like an allegory for like Twitter. Like, we got this one person who's super popular and everybody like loves him and all this stuff.
Oh,
and
those movies are coming out.
And then the freaking the Republican senator who comes in and it gets like demonetized and slashed down and
Murdered.
shadow banned and murdered, like murdered, you know, via the Twitter or whatever.
Well, you know what's funny is, so like the book was basically about like how communism can infiltrate our government through politicians who pretend to be one thing but are really another.
No.
And yeah, right.
No shit.
No way.
And so when Alex says this is documentary, like if you just look at the far left, that has kind of wormed their way into the government.
Demonetized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is gonna get us hardcore. Unsuitable for ads.
We shouldn't have done this week.
Nope.
That's what it is. Jude, you're not a fan of this movie, huh? Did you like the movie itself?
I thought it was such a downer. First of all, it's over 2 hours. You know, that's a deal breaker for me, but I did it for you.
It felt like it was 6 hours.
It was so long. Plus, I went back because I wanted to see what the difference was between the original and this one. So I watched the 1962
Oh,
version
you did?
too. Yeah.
How'd it hold up?
It wasn't as like this movie's very depressing,
Mm-hmm.
and so is the original, but not in the same way. Like there's just something so sad and
Cynical.
depressing about this one. Like the characters in this are, you can tell like their lives are destroyed because of this. Like, especially Bernard, who's like, he's
twitching out.
unraveling.
Yeah.
And the same characters pretty much are in the original, but they don't show you the degree of the psychological torture that these characters are going through. In this version, it's so sad and depressing, and what a fucking downer for over 2 hours that I was like, I want to get the fuck out of here.
Well, they tried to give you a happy ending because at the very end of the movie, once everything kind of settles and we kind of get everything revealed, Shaw realizes that he's being manipulated.
Yeah.
And whatever little tiny amount of humanity he has left control of in his own body, he uses that to kill himself and his mother via the assassination.
The main difference from the original to this one, there's a couple. Marco gets married, or is it Shaw? Fuck. I think it's Shaw gets married, and they have him kill his own wife.
Oh no!
And so that's fucked up. And then in the end, Marco ends up killing himself. So he doesn't survive it. But in this one, Denzel does.
Yeah.
But I felt like that ending was super weird. He's just like, I don't know, walking through Stonehenge at the end of the movie. And he's like, my brain, my memories. And then it's like fade to credit.
Whatever government entity that chick was working with, I can't remember what it was, some initials or whatever, but she was taking him back to the place where they had their memories erased so that they could try and retrace the steps and figure out who was behind it. Because they kind of knew, but they didn't have any solid evidence. That this weird, like, freaking Hitler doctor kept popping up. They had photos of him, but they didn't know who he was, and they didn't know who he was working for. So they were trying to unravel the mystery, which I kind of wish, like, I agree with you. This movie did feel like it was a long movie. I think if they would have done the whole presidential assassination thing in like the first half and then the second half, like unravel and defeat the corporation.
Yeah. It wasn't presidential in the first one. It was just like, I'm running for Senate or something like that. So I liked that they upped the ante for this one. It was like, this is the presidential election.
Well, vice president,
Vice
right?
president, yeah. But like, ultimately it was like, we want that presidential seat. So,
For sure.
So I thought that made more sense. It was a little bit more like clean cut. Also, a fun fact, in the original one, the 1962 version, the Meryl Streep part was played by Angela Lansbury.
Who's that?
Murder, She Wrote.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Bro.
I'm sorry. Dude, come on.
12
She is a treasure.
Sure. I'm not
Yeah,
disagreeing
I was
with
never
you.
a big fan.
I just never watched that show.
Murder, She Wrote was that thing my grandma watched.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody knows Angela Lansbury.
I'm sorry.
So speaking of Angela Lansbury and Meryl Streep, there's a scene in this movie where, and in the original, where it gets kind of incestuous, where the mother.
It's so weird and creepy.
Super weird and creepy.
So in the original novel, they go full incest, where the mother actually uses the command codes to take her son to bed and has sex with him.
Gross.
Whereas
Sick.
and so like they just imply it in the movie because they were like, that's a bridge too far. We don't want to put that on film.
I didn't need that.
They did have that weird little scene in here where she was like,
She like kissed him on the lips or something, right?
It was a little bit,
Or like
little bit weird for mom.
She
and son.
motorboated him.
Like, ew, Meryl Streep.
Leave it to
Yuck.
Jude. That was another thing too. So like, I'm not super familiar with all of Meryl Streep's work, but I've seen her in.
She's a very
I know you're
serious
struggling.
actress.
I'm like watching this movie, and I've seen her in like Out of Africa, and I've seen her in that Devil Wears Prada and stuff like that. And I'm just like she's good, but like people treat her like she's a freaking
she's revered.
the goddess of actors, and I'm like I don't get it.
Oh,
You're
you
like-
have this Seinfeld mentality that Meryl Streep is a phony baloney.
I guess I maybe that's where it's coming from.
Today she's like whenever you have an award show, if you actually bother to watch award shows, they always have that moment where they
cut to Meryl Streep.
where they cut to Jack Nicholson, but he's old, it doesn't show up anymore. So now it's Meryl Streep. Oh, look, Meryl Streep's here. Oh, and the heavens open up.
She
yeah.
is
The
Hollywood
light shines
royalty.
down.
Is she?
Yeah.
Does that exist anymore?
So like she's a multiple Oscar winner.
Oh, yeah.
So like if you win one Oscar, you're like, okay. But if you win multiple ones, you're like royalty. And this is like.
I don't know if she holds the record. I'm going to Google
What
it.
movie was it that she played that that lady who made all the cookbooks back in the 60s and stuff?
Julia and Julia?
Yeah, Julia. That I like she's good.
Yeah, she's a good actress.
She's a really good
That's
actress.
not what she's known for.
No, I know. I'm just like I'm trying to think of movies that I've seen.
I
her
always
in.
get her and Glenn Close mixed up.
Yeah, I can see that for
I mean,
sure.
she's no
Meryl
Jennifer.
Streep has never boiled a bunny. How dare you?
What? Wait, what?
Fatal Attraction, dude.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
She's no Jennifer Aniston, but you know, it's fine, whatever.
Oh, yeah. Would you really like that Leprechaun movie, huh?
Meryl Streep's daughter's actually been getting a lot of work lately. She was in Mr. Robot and a bunch of other stuff.
I don't know. I'm just saying, from my perspective as a freaking kid, I guess I just like Meryl Streep's good, but I never saw her as like this freaking idol of Hollywood. Like I was like, okay, yeah, she's a good actress.
Yeah.
So getting back to this movie, one of the things that I had a problem with this movie is that, well, I have a lot of problems with this movie, but the biggest one is that they kind of take the mystery out of it by basically showing you that, okay, yes, there's a conspiracy here. The Manchurian Candidate's real. I think it would have been interesting if the movie had kind of focused on Denzel's character as he believes this conspiracy, but there's no proof of it. And he goes throughout the movie trying to prove it. And you're like, is this guy like really mind controlled? Isn't he like what's going on here? And then at the end, we finally get the reveal. But as it stands, like we find out within like the beginning of the second act of the movie.
Yeah. Well, yeah. When they have that scene where Shaw's in his bedroom and somebody calls him on the phone and they do the secret code and then he like zones out.
I was questioning if it was all real a little bit up until the point with the scene where they were actually just showing them getting brainwashed.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was.
And the basis of it is basically the mad scientist guy. He had some breakthroughs in Alzheimer treatment and kind of like fucking with memory and stuff like that. And that was the genesis of the Manchurian program. And it was kind of interesting to think that you could kind of backwards engineer Alzheimer treatment to create people that you can fully control.
I would have. I wish I would have cast this movie a little bit. They would have a little bit different because I would have put in the mad scientist role. I would have put in the who's the actor I think he's German and he was like in Akira and he was in Inglourious Bastards. He played the nasty Nazi guy in that.
Like a modern recast or whatever.
I think
Schultz. Isn't it Schultz?
What is his name?
He's from Django Unchained.
I think yeah. He would have been really good in that role.
What is his name?
I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah,
Christoph Waltz.
Thank you, Christoph Waltz.
Yes, thank you, chat. Yeah, I think he was even active and acting during this time. He would have been.
He would have been young, but yeah,
he would have been a little bit better in a role like that. I didn't really buy into this. The character.
He seemed a little wormy, huh?
Yeah, for sure. But he pulled it off. It was
Shoot, go ahead.
Okay, so the record for the most Academy Awards is Katharine Hepburn, who had four Academy Awards. Meryl Streep has 3 wins for an Academy Award, 21 nominations for an Academy Award, and then Golden Globe, she has 9 nominations or 9 wins and 33 nominations. So she is Hollywood royalty.
Absolutely. There's no
chops.
denying that.
I'm not trying to disrespect her. It's just from my perspective, I just never really got like what.
I'm not big on Oscar
Me neither.
winner stuff anyway.
Do good work, which I guess she does.
So do you guys want to know what this movie was up against in the theaters?
I would actually
why it underperformed.
100%.
Oh, it's probably some nerd movie.
Well, let's try to guess. What year was it?
It was 2004.
Yeah.
Avatar.
No.
I don't have any.
Wouldn't that be hilarious? 2004. I have no idea. What
Summer, winter?
July.
Okay, so summer blockbuster
Star
in
Trek
2004.
movie? Or Star Wars movie?
No, not in 2004. Or no, it would have been Revenge of the Sith, right? Didn't that come out in 2004? Or was that 2005?
I don't remember.
I don't know. Tell us, what is it?
Anyway.
All right. So the weekend that this movie premiered in 2004, in the month of July, it was up against Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle.
Oh, well, shit.
Thunderbirds and M. Night Shyamalan's The Village.
Oh, that's a great fucking movie. I saw that movie in theaters. It is a great movie. Are you crazy?
Shamalama Ding Dong.
That's one of the best movies he's ever done.
That movie sucks.
The Village?
Yeah, The Village was terrible.
You guys are on crack.
We're never doing a Shamalama Ding Dong.
Yes, we absolutely are. Signs, The Village, and I'm going to make you watch Lady in the Water. I'm going to make you watch Lady in the Water.
I was going to ask, did you do like Lady in the Water?
No, it was trash. It was absolute trash.
Can we watch the new one where the little kids get old and
old?
I haven't seen that one.
I haven't seen it yet either. We should do an M. Night Shyamalan
No,
movie.
please, God, no.
Come on, why not?
You can have a wife day.
We could do 2 good ones
and we'll
and
have
a bad
Tom
one.
do it.
All right.
There are no 2 good M. Night Shyamalan
Signs and The
movies.
Village are good movies.
I love The Village, but also no one else does.
I
love it.
I did like Signs. I thought that
Signs is a
was
great
Signs
movie.
is
Mel
good.
Gibson,
Mel Gibson and
Joaquin
Joaquin
Phoenix.
Phoenix.
Come on.
That's his best word. That's his best work.
Okay, I can accept that. I really
Then
like
the
The
rest
Village.
of them are still.
I really like The Village because I grew up in like rural Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
So like
Rural.
rural, I can't say
Were there
that
weird
word.
Amish
Rear
cultists
wheel
in
drive?
the-
Rear wheel drive.
Is the bourbon's kicking?
Yeah, it is.
All
All right, back to Manchurian Candidate. I just feel like this movie was really well done. I do agree that I think they could have played the mystery up a little bit more.
Yeah, they also could have cut about an hour out of this movie.
Maybe
20 minutes.
That's probably true of
15, 20 minutes.
the next movie we're going to talk about. I think could have been cut down quite a bit, but I liked everything about this. I like the moment where Shaw, like at first, he's like friendly with Denzel Washington, and then something like clicks in his brain. He's like a real dick all of a sudden, and that starts making him question like, why is this guy acting like two different people? So that was a lot of fun, and I really was like surprised at the scene where Denzel goes into his office and they're chatting with each other, and they're like, yeah, there's probably something in your neck right here. Let me bite it out of you.
Oh my God, he like
Yeah.
that's the thing I think Elon Musk is gonna do to me if you say his name 3 times.
It's gonna pop
He's
behind.
just gonna
Bite your
appear
shoulder.
and take a bite out of my neck. Only he's gonna put an implant
gonna-
in, and he's gonna know everything I think about him.
Well, you know what's funny is so basically like there's a deep state operating here that's secretly controlling the government or trying to influence the government at least. And the one guy who knows the truth is being called a conspiracy theorist and a liar and an unstable person. And it's like, how many conspiracy theories do we know of within the past like 2 years that have proven to be like 100% correct?
Oh
you know?
yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. I made a joke a while ago. Like there was something on TikTok or Twitter or whatever. They were like, how many conspiracies do you believe in? I'm like, I'm out. I'm out of all conspiracies because all the ones I thought were conspiracies turned out to be true. I don't have any more conspiracies left.
Yeah.
And I don't subscribe to the flat earth bullshit. So that's like that doesn't count.
That's a troll.
That's a
dude.
troll.
That's
like
fucking. That's some.
do you watch
Reddit
that
bullshit?
Did you watch that documentary where they prove themselves wrong
assholes.
with the freaking laser GPS thing? And they're like, well, that's strange. I guess they're uncalibrated. I'm like, shut up.
Dumb fuck attaching himself to a rocket and shit. It's like, get out of here. You deserve to die. You fucking
God damn,
no, he did.
dude.
He attached himself to a rocket and died.
Did he die?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think he died.
Fucking dumbass. It's like,
I thought he just got hurt.
Thank you for like
Proving us.
fixing the gene pool a little bit. Fucking A. Dude.
Holy shit.
It's
All right.
wild.
Back to Manchurian Candidate. I don't know. We don't have to talk about this movie. It was super long. I enjoyed it because it tickles that conspiracy theory brain side of mine. I was just like, oh, yeah, this is cool. Denzel Washington sells everything. I really like the character who plays Shaw, or the actor who plays Shaw, Shriver. How do you say his last name?
Liev Schreiber.
Liev?
Liev Schreiber.
Liv?
I think it's Liv.
I think it's Leave.
Like Liv Tyler?
It's like
Liv Schreiber?
it's like all these Ukrainian names that we're having to struggle with on the news right now. Kiev, Yiv,
I'm pretty
I
sure
don't
it's
know.
Liev.
Okay.
So
Anyway,
whatever.
he's cool. He's a great actor. I love him and most of the stuff that he does. Even Wolverine Origins, he was pretty cool at Sabretooth. But
Oh, that's right. He was
Yeah.
there too.
Ray
Yeah.
Donovan.
I like him as an actor. So I enjoyed this movie.
No, wait. I feel like I get him mixed up with somebody. But it is he did play with Sabretooth, right?
Mhm. He's Wolverine's brother in the Origins movie that nobody talks about.
That's made up bullshit, right? He's not really. Is he?
Sabretooth, yeah.
Is Sabretooth and Wolverine really brothers?
Pretty sure.
In canon, comic book canon.
Well, in comic book, Sabretooth was Wolverine's dad, I believe.
I quit reading comic books a long time ago.
So glad we've morphed into comic book
Yeah.
conversation. Can we just stay with this?
Anyway, Manchurian Candidate.
You want to do final thoughts and get ready?
I-
I'll tell you I enjoyed the hell out of this movie. I think it was really well done. It brought up some legit freaking conspiracy stuff that I think is probably hinting at more truth than it is fake. And I had a good time with it. I'm going to give it a solid 3-star.
Huh.
What do you give it?
I don't. Hold on a second. Smooth. Let me see. Manchurian Candidate. Well acted, great cast, interesting story. Denzel is Denzel.
Mhm.
You know, he's good in everything he's in, right?
Yep.
This movie kept me more interested than the other movies that I watched this week. I'm not gonna lie. Probably the best movie I think of the week that we watched. It made you think a little bit. You know, it does make you think about the conspiracy stuff going out there, because I do think stuff like this goes on in some capacity. I think there's stuff out there that the government does that is just
There's
nasty, dirty, dark stuff that we really probably don't want to know about. That's really going on. You know what I mean?
There's a line in this movie where they were trying to prove Denzel wrong, where he's like, "Oh, they're putting microchips in us," and he's like, "You don't have to put a microchip in somebody's brain to control them. You can just hypnotize them and do some stress tests, and you take care of it, and that's it. It's way cheaper." And I'm like, "That's the truth.
Yeah.
That's the nugget of truth in this movie.
Right.
Like, you don't have to go through all the freaking electronic bullshit. You can just hypnotize somebody."
LSD was created by the government.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, 100%.
MK Ultra is a real freaking thing.
Do you want to explain what MK Ultra
Okay, so MK Ultra is, I think it was the 50s or 60s, where they were experimenting with mind control on people. And I think it's come out recently. Somebody wrote a book on it. They did some investigative.
Stephen King. It's called Firestarter.
Well, sure, that. But also somebody investigated the Manson murders. And it turns out that Manson was an MK Ultra freaking agent who they lost control of. That's real. That shit is real.
So basically, the CIA did fund this MK Ultra research and using LSD to kind of like alter brain chemistry to make people more suggestible. And they shut down the program and tried to hide the evidence. And then there was like a Freedom of Information request in like the 70s or 80s, I want to say.
Yeah, you can have the papers, but it's all redacted.
Yeah, and well, it came out, and so like since then, people have been investigating it, writing books, and trying to find. I think that George Clooney even made a movie about it called "The Men Who
Stare at Goats." Isn't that a Coen Brothers movie?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Oh, thank God we didn't watch that one this week. So anyway, I believe in a lot of this stuff, and I also think it's very kind of American to talk about and
because
decipher this stuff.
You get disappeared if you talked about it in some other countries.
It's kind of wild.
You'll get disappeared here too.
For
It's
sure.
called canceled.
Deplatformed.
Listen, somebody's gonna knock on the door pretty soon, and we're just gonna like disappear.
Fuck, it's not locked.
And they're gonna replace us with clones or something.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about the Manchurian Candidate on a podcast. Oh my God.
And you guys went full freaking.
I know, dude. But
you went hard at the beginning of this.
Got my tinfoil hat on. I'm gonna give this. I think this is my favorite movie of the week. I think, simply because it's got Denzel in it and a great cast. I'm gonna go 3.5, mostly to give myself some room for the other two movies that we're gonna talk about. So 3.5.
3.5. That's really high.
Yeah.
Way higher than I expected you to say.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
way too high.
of the 3 movies that we watched this week, I actually managed to watch this one through in one sitting.
Okay.
The next one we're talking about took me 3 fucking days.
All right.
Okay. So
real quick, we've got people in the chat who are checking our work, which is great. This is like these are our Jamies. So
right.
Dork Knight LV, what's up, Danny? He says in X-Men Forever, somebody establishes that Sabretooth as Wolverine's father, but it's not considered canon. In core canon, he's not related at all.
Good, I didn't think so.
Shout out to Danny. Thank you, sir. All right, Jude, what's your rating for this movie?
Okay. I hated it. However, there's a movie that I hate more than this that we watched this week.
Okay.
So, this movie doesn't make me irate when I watch it. However, if I have to watch it again, it will. It did spark an interest in me watching the original only because I saw a trailer of it, and the trailer was real campy. And I was like, I gotta see what this is about. It was just as boring though. Don't bother. So for me, this is 1.5 bitten microchips.
Wow.
Out of 5.
I didn't think we'd be that far apart.
Okay.
We're twofold.
So I got to ask you, because I've always been curious about this. We joke and talk about conspiracy theories, and you always typically roll your eyes at us. You're like, oh, these freaking idiots.
That's just what I want people to think.
Do you think conspiracy theories are not like a thing? Do you think?
Oh, no. I think you're silly to think that it's actually a conspiracy. Like, this is the way of the world. I'm deeper in than you.
Oh.
I believe nothing. I believe no one. I don't even trust the people in this room. I don't think my life is real. I do sincerely believe that I am in a matrix pod right now.
Oh, wow.
And all I have to do is just like rewire my brain to be like skinnier and younger. I just got to figure out how.
Okay.
Sweet.
It's the female Neo.
The news has been bought.
So we're like basic to you. Like these plebs are just now figuring this shit out.
Simulation.
I mean, I guess maybe that is like kind of nasty of me to roll my eyes at you when you're just doing your best out here. But like for me, I don't mean that in an asshole way. But like for me, I'm like, yeah, elections have been taken. They've always been taken. Why do you think it matters what you vote? Forever, I've thought that.
Okay.
We have to remember that her best friend is Conspiracy Tom.
This is true. This is true.
That's
So
true.
there's got to be some kind of connection there.
None of this is real.
See, because your reactions, the way I read your reactions, are like, oh my God, these people think everything's freaking fake, blah, blah, blah. That's what I see.
You just outed me. Now they know. Give me the hat. Give me the hat.
You can have mine.
They're coming for me now. They're coming for me.
Kanish, give it a rating.
All right. So I'm always very skeptical about conspiracy theories because, I've worked in the government before and no one in the government's all that smart to pull some of this stuff off. But in recent years, it seems that the conspiracy theorists are the ones who are actually the ones calling it correctly. They seem to be proven right more often than not. And it's all because the narrative that we're told to believe is just manufactured and meant to gaslight people.
Put the hat down, Jude.
Yeah.
Just give it a little quick pinch. There you go.
Jesus Christ.
All right.
Okay.
So anyway, this movie, it's too long. It's too boring. I don't care about any of it. It's got a great pedigree. The cast and the director and all that stuff are top notch, but they just came together for a snoozer of a film. I didn't like the changes that the early 90s or late 90s kind of necessitated. So I got to give this one 2 stars out of 5. I think it's okay. I don't think it's a terrible movie, but it's also like incredibly slow, incredibly boring. And I just didn't care about anything that was happening in it. So,
okay. All right. That's it for Manchurian Candidate. What did you think? Comment below. Let us know if you like this movie. If you're with me and you think it's like all freaking real. Like apparently like Jude too.
I'm with you, bro.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm with you.
All right.
I've always believed in weird conspiracy theories. The good ones. Some of them are dumb. But
well, some of them are stupid.
Some of
them, I like Tom's theory that the dumb conspiracy theories are detracting from the real conspiracy theories. That seems like a legit thing.
Yeah.
Those are agents.
That. Yeah, 100%.
Have you guys seen Anima's comment?
What did she say?
You guys would all disappear trying to find Croatia in the Baltics, probably somewhere in
This is
Russia.
very true.
Because we're all dumb Americans.
Croatia's down there somewhere by Afghanistan. Yeah. Right? Down
somewhere in the Mideast,
If
right?
you go to Alaska, you can see it from there.
No, you can because the Earth is flat. You can see as far as you want.
That's one of those Viking countries, right? Like Nordway or something.
yeah, I'm going to go strap myself to our rocket. I'll see you guys.
Yeah.
All right, cool. We'll see you there.
I'll be at your funeral, I guess.